Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Storms moving through Metro Detroit tonight, and even more severe weather is on tap for tomorrow. Glad you're with us tonight at 11. It's been a wet week and no relief coming, right?
Yeah, let's get right over to Ben tracking those storms tonight. Is lightning still a concern out there?
We've got a few of those strikes so far, though, Kim. Nothing of this is severe, and we're really not expecting it. But you can see that some of these areas have been getting heavy rain in multiple spots. And even though a lot of this is light, there's that sort of train of heavy rain and thunderstorms that's pretty much paralleling the northern border of our north zone right now. You look down to the south, there's more of it. You go further south, there's even more. And it's all headed our way. In fact, overnight, we're going to see this persist, especially in areas further north of Detroit, in the northern half of the area. Tomorrow, though, this is a different story. A marginal risk for severe weather pretty much everywhere south of I-69, and that's mainly going to be in the afternoon and evening hours. Mild start to tomorrow. Most of the daylight hours are going to be dry. Then we start focusing our attention on that severe storm threat. Plus, there's still flooding issues on the east side. One of those advisories has been upgraded, and we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Kim?
Okay, Ben. Breaking news now in North Carolina. 2 people are dead and 4 hospitalized after shots are fired on the University of North Carolina Charlotte campus. Investigators say a man armed with a pistol started shooting at students in a classroom. It happened while there was already a big police presence on campus because of a scheduled concert. Cell phone video shows officers responding to the scene. They were able to quickly disarm the man in the room where it happened. Police have identified the shooter as a 22-year-old former student.
Now to developing news tonight from Washington. Lawmakers are responding to a letter Special Counsel Robert Mueller sent to the Attorney General Bill Barr. The Washington Post is reporting tonight Mueller was concerned that Barr's summary sent to Congress did not fully capture the 448-page report accurately. The two later spoke over the phone about their disagreements. The Washington Post reports come as Attorney General Barr is set to testify in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee tomorrow. At least that's the schedule right now. You can watch the hearing live. We'll stream it for you on clickondetroit.com starting at 10 a.m.
Friends and family gathered tonight in southwest Detroit to honor U.S. Army Private Michael Thomason. The 28-year-old was killed over the weekend while he was stationed in Syria. Jermont Terry was there for the emotional vigil.
The circumstances into how Private First Class Michael Thomason died remain unclear. But to the family gathering here, it was all about remembering the man who changed so many lives with his boisterous personality.
He would brighten up the room.
When he wore the uniform, he was known as Private First Class Michael Thomason. But to Amber Martinez,
my brother. He's my world. He's my baby.
This week, the family received word Thomason died while serving overseas in Syria.
Why take my best friend?
Information is limited, but they know it wasn't in combat.
We obviously have to wait because they are doing a thorough investigation, so we can't get any answers, but I just need answers. I want to know how, why it happened.
For now, this vacant lot in southwest Detroit, where Thomason grew up, became the spot to reflect on the impact he left with so many in his 28 years.
Anytime something was wrong, he stopped what he was doing, literally, and would come.
That's why so many came out to show his family they too loved little Mikey from the block.
Candles up. This is for Mikey. Mikey!
Family says Thomason always dreamed of joining the military, and in 2017, he enlisted.
I always told him I didn't think it was a good idea, but you know, he's my brother and I have to support him. Whatever his decisions are, we have to support him.
His sister last talked to him days before his death. And while the family waits on the specifics, one thing is clear. Michael Thomason's life will always be celebrated by this crowd.
I will always look at him as my hero. He's everyone's hero.
A soldier gone too soon. In southwest Detroit, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
And Thomason is survived by his 8-year-old son. In a statement released today, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell called for more information to be released about his death.
Could there be hope on the horizon for lower auto insurance rates? Sources are telling Local 4 the Michigan Senate is going to take up the issue in the next week or so. We bring in our Mara McDonald, who is live downtown tonight. Mara, I feel like saying, stop me if you've heard this before, but here we go again, right?
And here is the eternal question that we always get asked, Evan. Why is our auto insurance so high? Well, for starters, it's the PIP. That stands for Personal Injury Protection. That is the most expensive portion of all of our policies. It is that lifetime health care benefit. Add into that skyrocketing medical costs here in Michigan, roll it into a ball, and what you have is the highest cost per auto injury in the whole country.
Tell all those legislatures, enough is enough.
The frustration is not new, but the cost of what so many people in Metro Detroit are being asked to pay for auto insurance has reached critical mass.
This is one of the most pressing issues in the state of Michigan and certainly in the city of Detroit.
Gay Dagnogo is at the center of policy talks in Lansing. She's been holding town halls across the city to talk solutions.
Why are we being charged such excessive rates in the city of Detroit?
The problem, there's no consensus on what would structurally fix it.
They should only create rates according to our driving record.
But insurers use zip code, gender, marital status, college attainment level, and credit score. Is that fair? Should drivers have the ability to decide what level of catastrophic coverage they want? What about imposing a fee schedule on hospitals? All up for discussion and no consensus. Will anything get done this year?
This year, no.
Next year?
Soon, hopefully.
Back here live. Well, the Michigan Senate is going to try to get something done this year. Expect those bills to drop probably in the next week and a half. And Devin, Kimberly, we have seen bills in the past, at least the past 5 years, where there have been attempts to fix this. One of the last go-arounds suggested that people should be allowed to tier their PIP, meaning you don't have to take a lifetime benefit. Does that make another round here this time? My guess is yes. Is it going to have any more success this time? Unclear. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
If there was anything easier here, you assume it would have been done long ago. All right, a long fight still ahead. All right, Mara. Now to an update to a story we first brought you last night at 11. A police investigation now underway into the relationship between the father and a 13-year-old girl who unsuspectedly gave birth to a baby. First responders, as we reported, had to revive the newborn after the mother gave birth in a toilet inside her family's home. Family members are telling Local 4 the father of the newborn is also a local teenager who lives in the neighborhood.
A Genesee County school teacher is arrested after allegedly recording a naked 14-year-old girl inside a tanning salon. 42-year-old Jacob Emmendorfer, a gym teacher at Davison High School, is now facing multiple charges, including activity related to child pornography. The 14-year-old girl noticed an iPhone hanging over a wall that separated another tanning area while she was undressing. The teen talked about her terrifying experience.
I'm happy that I told my mother and I put this to a stop, because if this was happening to other little girls, it's very sickening and it isn't right.
The superintendent at Davison High School says Emmendorfer has been placed on administrative leave and is not permitted on school grounds. At least 71 people are in the hospital after violence breaks out at an anti-government demonstration in Venezuela.
In a very dramatic day in Venezuela, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo tells NBC News tonight Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was preparing to leave the country and flee to Cuba, but was talked out of it by the Russian government. Russia has responded by claiming the U.S. is spreading misinformation. A massive march, meanwhile, is planned for tomorrow as the opposition leader is calling for more protests. And now to some breaking news into the Local 4 newsroom. Some very sad news to pass along from the Detroit music scene this evening. Russ Gibb, the former local DJ, promoter, and teacher, has passed away. Gibb, well known for booking all those famous musical acts into the Grandy Ballroom in Detroit. He brought in acts like the MC5, Iggy Pop, the Stooges, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, The Who. The Grandy Ballroom website says in a blog post that Gibb had been in declining health for quite some time and was recently receiving care in a local nursing home. Russ Gibb was 87 years old. He was really instrumental in the whole Paul is dead phenomenon that had people trying to play their Beatles records backwards and scanning album art for trying to look for all these clues.
A lot of tributes on Twitter for him tonight. Yeah. I didn't know him, but I hear he went by Uncle Russ.
Uncle Russ.
And certainly will be missed by a lot of people. A lot of folks talking about it tonight. Yeah. 87 years old. All right, still to come, a wild high-speed chase involves shots being fired at deputies.
The video that shows how deputies finally got the man to stop, coming up.
And a mother demanding answers tonight after discovering her daughter was bitten more than 25 times while at daycare. Why she's saying she had no choice but to make her claims public.
But first, a retired Macomb County judge taking her fight to a new battleground.
We have a stigma about addiction. We look at those people as though they aren't worth saving.
What she says the community and loved ones can do to help those impacted by the war on drugs. And that's next.
1 out of every 5 kids deals with a mental health disorder in a given year. Tomorrow, Dr. Frank McGeorge looks at a surprising link that could be raising the risk for some children. Wellness Wednesday at 6 a.m.